Welcome back to Carolina Rock Cutters, and that fan is super loud. Some sweet corn up here. Hang on. Got a fan blowing on because we're gonna go ahead and get rid of it tomorrow. But this is field, or what is it? Table to field, or field to table, I forget what. But anyways, this is the freshest sweet corn you ever see. So in today's episode, we are gonna talk about the Honda 6x6 because I get messages and comments and everything else asking about it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do my own video, a whole video talking about the 6x6, the trouble I had when I started, and everything else. So anyways, without further ado, welcome to Carolina Rock Cutters, and this is the rise and fall of the Honda 6Trax 300 6x6. The first question I get asked all the time is, where did you come up with the idea? What made you want to build a 6x6? Well, the idea came from semi-trucks, 18-wheelers. I always saw how they had 3 axles, and I was like, I just thought it looked really cool. So I said, hey, I want to do that. I want to build a 6-wheel drive. And when I first saw a Polaris back when they first come out, I think somebody in the area had a Ranger when I was little, and I was like, I need one. And then I made this channel, and I wanted something special, something different. I saw how all these big YouTubers were just, oh, we're going to buy a new Can-Am today. Look, we put some tires and some exhaust, and we flashed it. It did good. And that's all they do. I mean, I saw a YouTuber a while back who literally put a video, and it infuriated me. Because he literally put up there, if you want to make it on YouTube, you can't just be like everybody else. You got to be different. You can't just full send all the videos. I'm like, but that's all your videos. All this guy's videos were full sending, which, hey, full sending is awesome. I'm not arguing about his videos. I really like the guy's videos. But when he said that, I said, dude, that's all your videos are. You have no special vehicles. You have the same as everybody else. You have no anything special. I love the guy. I love his videos. But nothing about his videos was different than anybody else. I'm like, I want to be different. I want to make vehicles that are totally different from everybody else. Kind of like, I think Side by Side Blog would be a good example. They made like a 2-stroke X-Ray, bad to the bone. They made a 2Js, I can't remember what it was. It was a Razor with Jurassic Park theme, and then they put a big motor on it. Can't remember what kind of motor. Right now they're building the Hellcat one, so Side by Side Blog, type it in search bar. They're building the Hellcat C-Force. It's bad to the bone. I mean, they ain't got it right yet. They just started to build, but you need to go check that out. So if you're wondering about the design, this was the design. This is how we went. We used the chain drive system for 1.0. 1.0 was a chain drive system. So now we talked about how it came about, how I started thinking about, like, I want to be different on YouTube. I don't want to be the same old stuff. Anyway, so we use the chain drive system because that was the cheapest. You got to remember, I'm just a regular dude. I'm not these big YouTubers who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, I guess thousands of dollars. Because I'm sure these guys aren't making that much. Anyway, so I don't have no extra money. I started off with $100, and I just keep selling stuff and making more to spend on the channel. So I really don't have that much money. But the first one was the chain drive, as I just showed. And it did pretty good. But as you can see with these 2 videos in a second, something happened. So just check out these 2 videos side by side. You notice how in one video, the chains were jumping. After about the 1st or 2nd time in the mud, the chain started jumping. So we did tensionals. We tightened things up. We put stiff bars. We did everything we could. It made me so mad. And we couldn't get it to stop jumping. And I couldn't figure out why, because the first time or 2 we took it out, it didn't jump that bad. I mean, the chains actually stayed pretty good. Come to realize, it was the diff. Yes. It was the diff in the Honda 300 has a gear chip, because it still does it today. And if I would have known that I could have fixed it, and the chain drive system would have been perfection, because I had it right. But sadly, I didn't realize it until after I'd already taken it off. But don't worry, we have version 2.0. So let's go ahead and let's go show you how the old design was. Walk you through the scrap yard. Here's the old axle. Anyways, this is the old 6x6 frame. As you can see, it has stiff bars instead of shocks because if it flexed, it would pop the chain off. Then you had to have a, we noticed that this right heel started flexing a lot, where the bands were. So we ended up having to put a stiff bar on this side to help, stabilize everything. And the chains ran up from down here, up the heel, and then went down like this. So it went kind of like a crisscross design. I don't know how, I mean, you've seen it. One went this way, one went that way. And everybody asked, why did you do it that way? We really didn't have a choice because I wanted to use the shocks, and that was the only way I could find to use shocks. Found out you couldn't use the shocks, so I could have gone straight. Plus, if you look at this frame, the Honda 300 and this Honda 500 have way different rear ends, so it was impossible to do it the way I wanted. So, sadly, that's how that worked. So then I spent almost a year for project 1.5 of the 6 tracks, which took me almost a year to get all these parts, guys. It took me forever. And let's just say I ended up not using them because I found a different way. So let me show you what I got. This, my friends, is a Honda 300 frame and rear end. As you can maybe see, there's a lot of rust on this thing. So I got it for fairly cheap. The idea was to have 2 Honda SRA solid rear axle on each other. So what I would have done was I would have bolted this on it. And let's see. I can show you. Hang on. I'll show you exactly what I was going to do. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Everything's falling. Anyways, I would have cut a hole right here and here, and put a big bale transfer case. It would have pulled the shaft over here. Then you could have ran it. I would have welded it to the shaft on that one. And let's just say it would run the back one. And they'll both be Honda 300, so that'll be the right gear reduction, or the right gear. You know what the problem was, though, ladies and gentlemen? You would still have to have a stiff bar in the middle. So this rear axle will probably still would be able to move, but the middle one would not be able to move, which sucked the monkey balls. I hated the design after I looked at it. After a year of trying to get the parts and all this research and figuring out how it worked, I could actually make it work. I had the design built. I have a lot of the parts. I've sold the diff now, but I had a lot of parts, but it didn't work. I changed my mind. So then we went to Project 2.0. That's the one I started back in, I would say, February of this year, February of 2023. I started doing a lot of research on how to put a Polaris rear end under it. The problem with a Polaris rear end is you would have to put the front diff too, which would have been perfectly fine because the front diff on a Honda 300 sucks. Don't tell anybody. It says, everybody's like, hold the brake. It doesn't work. It barely works. It loses so much momentum for the four-wheelers that do have brakes. It's not worth the time. So we would have used a Polaris middle diff, kind of like this one. But the problem with that design was I needed the whole rear end out of a Polaris, a frame and all, in order to put in the middle. Then you put the middle diff, and you take that diff and move to the back. You can buy the frame and the middle diff. The problem is the middle diff is actually harder to get. I thought it was easy. I found a couple for $300. Never thought much of it. Now they've disappeared, and you can find 1 or 2 for $700. That's a lot of money. And these Polaris four-wheelers, I thought there had to be a lot of blown-up ones. There really ain't. I thought there was, and I can't find them, ladies and gentlemen. I have been searching for a blown-up one. I put ads up, and nobody has an old blown-up one. If they do, they want $2,000 for. I ain't paying $2,000 for a blown-up motor. So that brings us to today's part, which is 2.5. 2.5 is where we got to this week. I've already done a lot of the stuff, and I've actually figured a lot of it out. So how would that be? It's by using a Can-Am middle diff. A brand new Can-Am middle diff from Partzilla, brand new, is not but $700. The rear frame, well, the Polaris rear frame has to be welded up there because it actually is not direct bolt up to all Polaris four-wheelers. A Can-Am is direct bolt up. You can buy all the stuff. You can bolt the frame. I can buy the frame, the rear diff, and the middle diff for cheaper than the middle diff of the Polaris. Brand new. You know, all of these are brand new. If I had to buy a brand new middle diff for a Polaris, what was it? I think it was $1,700. I can buy the middle diff for like $800, and I think I could buy all the other stuff for cheap. I don't remember the exact numbers, but that's where we're at right now. We're gonna buy a Can-Am, and we're gonna strip it down to every little piece. It's gonna take a while, but I can find the parts every day of the week. So that's where we at on this, because The Can-Am is going to be so much better. All the parts are easy to get. You can go on Amazon. They're not special order parts. You can get them right from anywhere, and they're easy to get. That's the biggest thing. This is a 2022 middle diff. It isn't like a lot of the other diffs I was looking at were like 08, so they'd be a little more hard. No, this is brand new. I can get it right now. That's where we're at right now with the Honda 6x6. We're trying to get the old Polaris 6x6. The idea is to sell this thing and take the money and buy the parts for the Honda 300. I don't think it's here, actually. But we got to pull the transmission because, sadly, the shifting forks are messed up. If you watched my video last week, you'll know it doesn't work. It doesn't shift in the reverse barely. It never shifts in the high. And that is some crazy camber on that one. I got to fix that. Oh, always something with this thing. If you would like to know how to build your own 6x6, I do have a playlist. And the design works. It's not 100% foolproof, but hey, it's fun to do. A lot of people say, why didn't you use a Polaris with chains or a vehicle that used chains and put on the back at 300? I thought about that, and if I was going to do it long term, that's what I would have done. But let's be honest, I just did what I had. I was able to get this 500 rear end for free, along with most of the parts I got for cheap because I get discounts. I mean, I had a lot of money in it. And a lot of people don't understand just how much research a lot of this stuff takes. They think, oh, you just think about it and build it. The first design took about 20, 30 hours. The second design, the one that I scrapped with the 300 rear ends, I think I had about 40 to 50 hours of just searching every part, just not to use it. Polaris thing, about the same. I think I had 20 on that one because, honestly, it was pretty simple. Just, hey, bolt, cut the frame off, weld it, voila. I also have a way to fix the actual problem with Honda 300. A lot of people don't realize that, but I know how to fix it. I actually know how to fix the IRS 300 problem, where the diff is sitting at an angle like this with the shaft. I know how to fix it. I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to show everybody it, and going to be rich with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'll patent it, but no, I'm not going to patent it. Anyway, so I gotta show y'all. So this video was supposed to come out this week. I was gonna do a lot more for this video and plan a lot more, but sadly the Can-Am broke, which is what I was supposed to take out this week. But it's not his fault. I gotta show y'all this. So this video was supposed to go find a new mud hole, but I ran into some issues, and I'm gonna show y'all just what happened to me this week. So what happened was I noticed that my Can-Am had a little wiggle in the wheel, just a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and change the wheel bearings right fast. That was my first mistake. If you haven't seen my video this week of why I hate demon axles, the axle broke when I went to go push in and pull out. It pulled all the guts, and it took me hours to get that straight. You talk about being pissed. So, yeah, that was bad. So anyways, while doing all this, I messed up both wheel bearings. I don't know how bad you can see that, but that's bad. Not only is that bad, look at this one. This was just as bad. This was worse, probably. All the wheel bands fell clean. Oh no, I broke the boot on that one. No. So it looks like I need two axles. Thank God I ordered a second axle. So we have a Bluetooth axle here, and the other one looked like I've blown it out trying to go out, which is my own fault. I knew when I was pulling it out that something was going to break, and I broke it. A little sad. I'll probably just get a boot for that one and fix it and keep it as a spare. I ordered 2 brand new ones for this, so it's not the end of the world. I was going to take all of this off, put wheel bands, put new trailing arm bands, everything. So she's going to be good to go again. It's just sad that I had a special part to get the trailing arms off. I thought I could do it easily. No. Everybody, Can-Am, Honda, all these companies use these special tools. It's like, why can't y'all just put a normal thing on it? Why? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you like this video. If you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button because the 6x6 is coming back. And it's coming back sooner than you think. I've already started ordering a couple parts here and there. Can-Am parts are so easy to come by. So if you guys wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I will see you on the next one. Well, hopefully we'll be out in the mud. This is just more of a relaxed video. I wanted to go ahead and talk about everything because I keep getting asked all these questions. So anyways, guys, I will see y'all on the next one.